A word for our listeners. Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiett, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, George Chimples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nerds Domain present Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Shirley.
Oh, hello.
Jason.
Hello.
George.
That's me.
Scott.
Oh, hello.
Johnny.
Hi.
And Justin.
Hi.
Last time we left the adventures, we were healing up at a hospital. I think we're done. The professor has invited Mr. Byrne, Mr. Cooper, and Captain Wilkerson to kind of a dinner when you get out of the hospital. Right. They don't know about those two invitations, do they?
No. Why would they?
So, awesome. So you guys kind of had to dinner that night.
Wait.
What?
No.
No? Oh, you guys.
Is it a whiskey dinner?
Yes,
drinks. Open bar. in the bar? Do I have to go farther than the hotel?
No, I'm gonna rent a room.
In the bar.
Oh, okay.
There's not gonna be other people there. It's your perfect setup.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Yeah, and I'm going to return to my room at the hotel.
Well, by the way, when I pick you up from the hospital, by the way, I bring all your guns.
Okay, I was going to say, do you really?
No, I literally bring your to-go outfit.
Okay.
And, all your weapons and everything.
Because I was going to say, if I'm just in here's your clothes and go, I'm going to run back to the room and become a walking arsenal. But if you bring them for me, I feel much better.
I'm literally walking with a bag of cheap.
Oh, good. Yeah. Then I won't walk out of my hospital room without machete, bolos, 6 on the thing, ready to get just armed to the teeth.
Okay. Did you want to say something, George?
No, I was just saying, this is the kind, conscientious version of the professor. It's fascinating.
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I completely understand you need to go armed and bad things come out of shadows and try to
Professor, go ahead and give me another occult roll. You spent the week working on that tiara again.
And you and I have not met.
Give me a sanity check.
No.
Okay.
pass.
Okay, give me a d10 roll.
3.
You have successfully, hopefully, replicated what you've done. You don't have to fully test it, but you think that you have another piece of metal that will do the same thing. It's not quite the same metal. You didn't get it quite looking the same form-wise.
Hey, Captain, your hat seems heavy.
And my pith helmet's a little heavier.
Yeah.
On a cursory examination, what do I...
You can see a slight stitching on the inside, and you run your hand across it, and it feels like a disc-like tiara has been placed inside of it.
Have I seen him with the tiara before?
No.
You've seen the tiara. You've not seen him with it.
Okay, I'm going to kind of pull at the stitch.
It looks like a metal tiara. Yeah.
I'm going to inquire, sir.
Yes.
In my pith helmet.
Yes. It's mental defense.
Oh, thunk. We're good.
So the four of you show up for the dinner that evening, I assume? Now that there's whiskey?
Yes.
Okay. After the four of you walk in and get seated, the doctor and Mr. Ma also walk in. You've also been invited to the dinner.
Oh, hello, Captain Wilkerson. How are you this evening?
Who eyeballs her the second
You
she
probably
walks
saw
in.
the doctor on and off. She checked in to see how you were doing. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Before I was let out of the
before you let out of the hospital. So Mr. Ma is completely new to you.
Do introductions need to be made?
Should we get here?
It's
I know
pointless for them
everyone
not to
quite
be
well.
here at this point.
I'm sorry?
It's rather pointless for them not to be here at this point. The doctor was giving one of Weld's journals about our experiences. She's very much on the up and up.
By whom?
By Mr. Weld's employee, Mr. Ma.
He nods.
We have not been formally introduced. Captain Reginald Wilkerson.
Yes, I have read about you in the journal. My name is Chinsho.
Well then, Mr.
But you said his name was Mr. Ma.
You
said it was Mr. Joe.
Chinsho.
That's how they pronounce. Ma is their family name.
I'm literally just staring at you like, did I teach you nothing?
So is it Mr. Ma or is it Mr. Chinsho? For those of us that are obviously not up on family names like Mr. Cooper.
Oh, so Chinsho is together, not separated. Sorry about that.
No problem. Europeans often have trouble.
By the way, how thick is your accent?
Thicker than my voice actually sounds. It would be...
Like Jackie Chan thick?
No, it's actually pretty decent.
But do you sound like you're like English or American?
Like
where did you learn English basically? Like from an English?
It would be slightly English inflected, probably. British inflected.
Yeah. Like people in South Africa sound
exactly.
British.
Yeah. That would be the primary colonists for learn English.
So again, do you prefer Mr. Ma or Mr. Chinsho?
Mr. Ma would be correct, whichever is easier for you.
And is everyone familiar with the doctor?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Cooper, I'm aware. You are very familiar.
So what are we going to deal with first?
I'm not quite comfortable, of course, with the newcomers.
Things change.
Mr. Ma, you wish to join us for dinner? And the accompanying conversation, I take it?
I'm interested in what has brought my employer to his
Knees?
end.
Really, I'm just gonna like openly hand Byrne like an entire bottle of whiskey.
Okay. Mr. Byrne, how are you?
Fine.
You don't sound fine. Understandably so. Don't get me wrong. So,
In character, you're just like, yeah, screw it, whatever.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ma, I can understand a healthy curiosity as to why your former employer has met his end. However, the good doctor... Oh, wait. Mr. Ma, I can understand wanting to learn how his employer has met his end. However, the good doctor, I'm not quite sure why you as a tourist would like to join this particular conversation.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call myself a tourist.
I would.
But if you insist. Anything that causes this type of insanity quickly is something that I would want to deal with.
There are things you are better off not knowing about.
Well, I beg to differ with you.
I did too.
Mr. Cooper got the short
I already
version.
know about most of them through Mr. Weld's journal.
But there is an essence of disbelief still possible in your mind. It is best to leave while you still have that essence.
Essence of belief. Can you explain yourself?
Disbelief.
Disbelief.
Some part of your mind, I am sure,
I
you
see
do not
your
believe.
reaction. I see Mr. Byrne's reaction. He's totally in denial of what has happened to him. I see Captain Wilkerson's reaction, and I've seen Miss McCree's reaction, and I've seen Mr. Weld's reaction. I know quite what I'm up against.
No idea.
Oh, well then. And I pull my semi-auto welding, pop the bullet out of the clip, pop the clip out, and put all three in front of you on the table.
She takes it, she assembles it, and pops the thing back in.
Yeah. You are familiar with that?
Yes.
Do you have your own? Did you come armed to this particular gathering?
No, I did not.
That was foolish. May I have that back?
She hands it to you properly.
That also was probably foolish.
Agreed.
I mean, we're armed. You were armed. He's asked, why did you?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up now. To be clear, everyone has a weapon, correct?
No, the doctor does
Yeah,
not.
we're all like,
Yeah, I'm just like,
I'm just like, yeah, like 2 pistols, like a machete, like on my back. I'm like, everybody's got a weapon, right?
I suggest you become armed.
Well, we live and learn, don't we?
I hope, or you will live shortly.
It's a process of elimination.
Mr. Ma, you are armed, I take it? Now look at the bulge on the side of your outfit and just leave it and turn back to the doctor. So where are you going to arm yourself? Who is your reputable firearms dealer in these parts?
I can find some firearms.
I didn't ask that. She needs to be able to procure her own weaponry.
I would quote, like, whoever's down the street.
Yeah, she talks about the same places Frank took you with all of the evil nuns.
All right. She's not like, well, I was going to go to Kmart and get it. Didn't know.
Gonna send a letter to Daddy. He'll send it. No, she
I'll get a dare in you.
at least has an idea of where. And actually, she kind of talks about like she knows where to get shotguns.
But when I handed her the handgun, she was familiar enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Not like,
Probably she obviously didn't do it as quickly as like one of your soldiers, but she didn't. It didn't go slowly.
There is wildlife in every part of the world,
some more wild than others.
as I gather
Some are
from what
not
I've
quite
seen.
as alive as they should be.
Well, then why do
Some
you
are more
think
alive than
that-
they should be,
Why do you
actually.
think man-made weapons will kill them?
Not entirely sure they will.
And if they don't, we have no hope at all.
No hope. This is a thing I would like to talk about. Do you have hope, Mr. Cooper?
Once I didn't have belief, and I have belief now. I've been told I have no hope.
By whom?
The tentacle tree.
Tell me about the tentacle tree. I was, Weldy is very good at what he does. I was incapacitated.
I will describe the creature in full aspect.
Oh, would you like to roll Cthulhu? Either you or Mr. Byrne.
Well, was holding it.
Oh, that was took him out? Okay. Well, that's solid. I mean, that's what made me go insane.
It's true. But you didn't get a Cthulhu roll at the time. So no.
He said there was no hope. The fate that we had befallen the Carlisle expedition would befall the whole world. I am more than willing to try to stop it, even though he said to just basically enjoy the show. I do not want that to happen to me.
Agreed.
I wouldn't give up hope. The obviously lie.
Obviously.
Do you look visibly drunk?
No. At this point in time, it's been days of the bottles, so
We're just letting
we're eating.
That functioning alcoholic.
So
look a little haggard maybe, but you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
like
Not falling over.
What do you mean you lie?
Carlisle expedition isn't dead.
Oh, they're definitely dead.
Just like
Those
Mr.
are
Gavin.
worms.
He can
Devoured them.
create images. He can create lives.
This does not seem like a thing that would lie. It does
Yes,
not seem like
well-
it needs to.
Yes,
Given
but
it too
the
much
professor
credit.
himself put a round squarely in Mr. Gadigan's face at point blank range, blew his head clean off like a melon, and yet we saw him out there.
Are we sure he's the same thing?
Absolutely. That's why I took my leave to put an end to him again.
All evil lies.
And we know
This is
that-
true.
That the bodyguard is in China. Brass.
where in China?
Shanghai.
We suspect Shanghai.
Interesting.
So
Yes, well, I wanted to bring us all together for dinner this evening, just to clear the air, because Mr. Cooper can't shut up apparently when he's in the
Right.
hospital bed. Right now, you're Mr. Cooper.
So, but, Doctor, so you're not a tourist. What is it you hope to get out of this? Just want to watch the show?
Well, no, if it's as dire a circumstance as you say it is, I hope to help bring an end to it. I don't want my world to end.
But would it not be best if, given the time that you have, that you flee?
Enjoy it while you have it.
A young lady
No.
such as yourself?
No, what good of a person would I be if I just fled and left the world to its own demise?
Well, then what do you bring to the table to stop it?
Medical knowledge, for one.
Knowledge.
Keep
Well-
patching you fools up every time we go somewhere.
True. And bedside manner does leave much to be desired, but that's...
There are times you seem to like to go to the library.
Are you, sir, are you familiar with the term alienist?
I am. Well then.
And for our
We will
listeners,
argue before we leave.
I'm not.
for our listeners at home and Mr. Cooper, actually you would be familiar with this term. This is a term from the times. Alienist is what they called psychologists.
Mhm.
They also, because psychology is such a weird place at this time, it also deals a lot with the cult. So her calling herself an alienist is almost like calling herself a parapsychologist in modern day.
It comes from the belief, because they're very strange, that little tiny aliens were the cause of mental infirmities. They would crawl into your ear at night, and that they were from like Mars and Venus because they didn't know life didn't
real?
exist there. So that's why they were called alienists. So they thought it derived from aliens.
And when she said alienist, I actually had a little part of me went, oh good. Oh yeah,
This
because
is
we need help because this is alien.
None of what I said was true, by the way.
That's awesome.
Dang it. Why did you agree?
I didn't. I just sat here trying not to laugh because I knew George was taking you on the trip.
On a little yarn.
I hate you guys.
No, they're called alienists because it is foreign. It's unnatural.
I mean, people can believe that.
It's also
Apparently.
it's also believed at this point in time that alienists are psychos. Like they're making that shit up. But honestly, which one of you at the table isn't a psycho?
Yeah, they're wing nuts.
Yeah.
But at this point, looking at the amount of stamina that I've lost, 10, 20, 30, 40, I'm a wing nut too.
Well,
So
but if she like is dealing in crazy things, maybe that's helpful.
oh yeah.
So
Like I said, a little part of me went, hooray!
So I don't care who's coming along for the ride. We have to move forward.
Well,
Will you be able to move forward?
And on that note, move forward to what?
I think we need to find this person who is supposedly dead. Or we should at least finish what you guys have attempted to do in the first place.
No, we need answers from the Carlisle expedition.
So we should leave this Gaffigan brain around.
If we can't kill him,
Which is obvious.
At least give him a bad day.
we could kill him again, but
Well, I'm not so interested in killing him again as much as I am perhaps discussing with him his ambulatory state. But no, I agree with you. We should find the Carlyles. We should find someone and bring answers out of them.
Well, it seems like our best bet would be to abduct him.
Quite.
Not kill him, but waylay him.
Wasn't there a monthly gathering of cultists sacrificing out near pyramids that were happening sometime soon?
I was going out there to the line.
The last time we went to a big cult sacrifice meeting, we were running people over and firing shotguns willy-nilly.
Yes, this.
While the captain bled out in the back seat.
I would like to hear about this.
Hear about what?
Big cult meetings aren't a thing.
Running the people over and the cultists.
I would too, actually.
That was at the Gavigan estate.
Which is the dead man you have seen walking, yes?
Yes.
We
Well,
initially
he wasn't
killed
a
him.
dead man. We killed him at his estate. That's where we gave him his first case of lethality. He is apparently doing much better. Our friend Mr. Byrne was lashed to an obelisk. There was a crack in the sky. Something was attempting to come through when we decided to run the Bentley through the crowd, and our professor, who originally espoused a distaste of firearms, showed a wanton proficiency at being able to shoot them through a passing window.
So the last time you met him, he was trying to summon something from the sky
Quite.
with a sacrifice.
Quite.
And now he's down here next to a group of people who are about to do another sacrifice.
Quite.
As I said, waylaying him and abducting him would be a good idea, in my opinion.
Going
And
out
a
to
good dose of Professor Wentworth to the face might not be a bad idea as a secondary.
going out to the desert during the ritual would be a bad idea.
Could we go try to abduct him before the ritual?
That would be.
That's the preferable method, yeah.
It does sound as if this thing is an abomination.
Oh, yes.
The thing I seen was.
Yes.
Can you give me a
Quite.
description of what you've seen in the crack in the sky?
It didn't actually open. We managed to get Mr. Byrne off the pillar in time.
Might be the same thing. No.
Do I have enough occult to, like, use the term Cthulhuoid?
No. No.
Well, Captain described the winged creature that was going to come down and eviscerate and devour me. And the pyramid described these 7 whatever-headed multi-dimensional sphinx thing that would rise out of the desert. They're not the same creature. They work for the same higher being. I use that term with a bit of
Maleficent
disdain.
entity.
I like that term better. Yeah, maleficent entity. They clearly work with the same creatures, with the same entities it has. But they aren't the same creature. I know I won't describe it in detail.
Doctor, do you have any problem with like chemically enhanced interrogation?
Chemically enhanced interrogation.
Who?
Why would this require chemicals?
Well, I need to be drunk to do it.
I don't necessarily disagree.
Well, I prefer not to interrogate him by cutting pieces of him off.
Oh, I was going to ask if you were above torture.
Why? You obviously can't kill him. So,
Perhaps it can feel pain.
might not be a bad thing.
In which case, we would need a meat grinder and one of his appendages, and we would start slowly and work our way up.
No, there are much easier ways to do it.
Well,
I like this
I'm
party
thinking-
much more.
use whatever methods are deemed necessary.
Sodium pentothal already made.
Somebody should look that up.
Working on it.
Good deal.
Now, what's it called now? Vapping? Venting? Vamping.
Yes.
I was going to say fapping, but I know that's
No.
Sorry.
That is inappropriate.
Sorry,
No.
vamping, for those listeners who are unfamiliar with radio terms, means stalling for time by talking about something really random.
Like Johnny's doing now as he searches the internet.
My phone won't actually load Google properly, so there you go.
Discovered in the early 1930s.
But we would have been doing tests, right?
No.
Could she have been the one who had discovered it and then had been lost? And
No.
the documents found at a later date.
Oh.
Alright, well, I mean, we can always do it
first-
the old-fashioned way.
The first of us in the 1930s.
Although I'm sure the captain would be more than on board.
I have some experience in these matters.
What is it you
Maybe-
do again, Mr. Ball?
Oh, I am the person who does the things that need to be done.
A gopher.
Well,
Excellent.
Scary.
A gopher? That is
Uh,
one of those things, yes.
It is
creature.
an animal.
no, a gopher would be a term for a particularly useful batman.
That man. I occasionally carry things that need to be carried and take care of matters that need to be taken care of.
Trusted assistant.
Yes.
Perhaps he is a lousy drunk.
Who?
Me?
No. Gavigan?
I would not subscribe such mundane problems to a man who apparently rises from the dead.
Why?
I was the one who shot him. Believe me, he was very dead.
Oh, yes. Like I said, like a melon.
Doctor, gathering
Maybe-
information from a bound man is not a difficult issue. We do not need to discuss all this. It will be taken care of.
But there's an item at the mosque that the
mosque?
that the cultists are after.
At the Mosque of Ibn Tulun.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, but I thought we sent the gentleman on his way.
That had nothing. No. Faraz said that,
Yeah.
that was a second, like, he was also offering that as a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we might want to swing by and acquire that.
But yes, it would be right up your alley, Professor.
I'm okay with this.
The mosque that he's talking about, you're familiar with it. It is west, about a half mile west of the Citadel of Saladin and south of the Azakaya Gardens. It's kind of center of New Cairo.
Okay.
So it's a safer place, but it's also a very old mosque. So, is that, so there's that information.
Alright, and what was this artifact for you?
Do I know specifically what their attack was?
If you guys remember, Frost just mentioned that there was something there that he knew the Brotherhood was after. And obviously, if they got some sort of thing going on here, it's probably a good idea to slow that down or stop.
Yeah. All right.
With our experience, perhaps we could figure out what it is also. Ourselves.
Well, that would be sort of what I do for this party.
If you figure it out, I'll acquire it.
All right, gentlemen. So, and ma'am, our agenda seems to be to acquire the artifact and acquire our erstwhile companion who has risen from the dead.
Quite.
We will, of course, pay you, Mr. Moore, should that be required.
Oh, it would be required. He looks pleased by this.
Oh, by the way,
yes, money.
how are finances for Weld and...
Weld's family sent some money to take care of him, and I padded that number to take care of Miss McCree as well.
Excellent.
However, the contracts from the Weld family are to be terminated. So for now,
I look at Mr. Byrne quickly and back to the professor.
Yeah. So for now, I'm going to be covering the bill.
I did not know, Mr. Byrne, if you were to be paid out or if you wish to continue.
Yes, Mr. Burns to be paid out. Well, your contract needs to be paid out. And then terminated.
I'm not leaving. That's what you're trying to ask me.
Excellent. That's what I was attempting to ask, yes.
So,
And I, throughout the course of the dinner, am starting to be much more like Mr. Byrne. I drink more than I eat.
So $35 a day.
yeah.
You're not doing too bad here. Plus expenses, and you were getting money for Botticello. That's clearly going on in your pocket as well. Miss McCree, yeah, you pushed that one third.
And you know what? Liquor is an expense.
Yeah. So are bullets, and you need more of those.
Captain Wentworth. Or
Captain Wentworth.
God.
You're
I'm not Matt now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a good idea to request some funding from your family in the short term.
For the purchase of.
Just anything that happens to come up. I don't personally have any wealth stationed here in Egypt. I'm going to have to go to the States for that. It might take me some time to get it set up.
Certainly, I'm going to send a telegram back to Father, telling him that we have run into more of
problem.
No, more of the type of issue that we had with Lord Vale. It's in that arena, and that it would be in my best interest if I were to have some funds available should I need them. I don't anticipate that I will, but
And you're sending us a telegram, I'm sorry.
yes.
Okay. I believe telegrams move quickly, so within the hour you have a return that, no?
Because they got to relay it city to city, and they'll stack up and
That's
then
right.
sent out. So it might take a day or two, but there's money. I have money now.
Yeah, you do.
And then suddenly Byrne is funding this revenue.
He's just like, whiskey for everybody.
So no, the money, the wealth, and this.
You also know that you could call on any one of a number of British families and just say, I need a line of credit. And they know you, so that would be covered until the money would get here.
And if I need to do that too, I will. You'd be like, I want to buy a fleet of guys to go kidnap Gadigan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So the question is, how do we want to approach this? Do we want to go to the mosque? Do we want to go after Gavigan? Do we want to go after them at the same time?
well, I believe we're going to need to locate Gavigan first.
No, we know exactly where he is.
He's
really?
over there.
I don't think we should do them at the same time.
We know
That would
exactly
require
where he is.
us to be at two places at once.
And I explained to you, you go down here to the palm tree,
Take a
you
look.
right, you go out the thing, he's right
So,
over the second sand dune.
I would like to stop the Brotherhood from getting this thing they need, because they clearly need it.
Yes.
Sounds logical.
Then in the morning?
Start.
Yes.
Well,
I think we should give Matt an evening to mess with us before we go. Yes, we should.
well, to our fallen companions. I'll offer to.
Toast.
So the evening goes fine. Not a big deal.
No firearms through the windows.
You haven't alerted the cultists yet, so.
Yay.
So where were you guys headed first thing in the morning?
Just scout it.
Choose scout it. So,
are we all going there? Because this place seems a little awkward.
you're tourists.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Visiting what turns out to be the oldest mosque in all of Cairo. So it's kind of a big deal.
Sight to see.
So you arrive at the mosque.
I'm going to give you one of my spare pistols.
I would have picked one up at the door, but I'll take your
Or shotgun.
Shotgun.
Yes.
And your pistol.
Are you traveling with shotgun through the city with us?
Well, yeah.
All the cool kids do it.
Right.
Do you have your shotgun with you?
Seems a little awkward,
One?
but...
I have 2 or 3.
I have my shotgun.
He's got a picture of Rambo, shells across the chest.
Right. I'm going to be an angry, armed tourist.
Do we have any, and I'm going to, in front of you both, and be like, do we have any of the enchanted club sticks that I made?
I don't.
Enchanted club sticks?
Yes, bullets don't work well against things made of fog.
Well, you still have the silver wire, yes?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well then. Why, yes, I do. Good. Excellent.
Did you make clubs out of it?
Well, I did provide it.
Where's Miss McCree's stuff? Go back to the hotel. I'm gonna.
It's probably been packed.
We go to the evening.
Yeah.
When we're like, oh, nothing happens tonight. So tonight, I'm going to go see if I can acquire the items that she doesn't want the professor.
Her items have probably already been packed by the professor. It's been 2 weeks. And that he's made arrangements for her to go home.
So then,
did
he find the books?
I've made no mention.
You'll need to talk to the professor, won't you?
Okay. Professor, when you were packing up Miss McCree's things, did you find the contents that she was meant to steward?
No.
Can I have a psychology roll on that? Is he just straight lying to me?
Absolutely, make that psychology
roll. 01?
I passed.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, he absolutely is telling you the truth. He seems a little perturbed, even.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of like, no.
Okay, then I'm gonna check with did she have another room? Was there another room that it was under? I'm gonna go to her room and
Oh, believe me, her room was thoroughly right.
You spend some time. Who set up the rooms? You or Weld?
I did.
After you spend some time, you go down to the front desk. It turns out she had placed some things in a satchel in the safe. The trunk wouldn't actually fit in the safe. You probably put it in a satchel.
I'm going to request the satchel.
So, you have authorization from Miss McCree. These are her things.
She's been sent on.
You're not
Frank
there.
went with you?
No,
Frank?
No, I didn't tell Frank. No, I didn't tell Frank at all.
Let me take the thief with me to recover the magical item.
A moment. Doctor, come with me. And we go to the front desk. Yes, this is Miss McCree's physician. We are packing several of her things. The Professor Wentworth has helped pack some of her things to send her home. She has been recently, what is the phrase?
Mentally incapacitated.
And is going home to her family who require these items.
I will need to get discharge papers from the hospital to release these sort of things, but I'm sure that can be worked out. You can provide those, Doctor?
Yes.
You're not playing Miss McCree anymore.
I know. I got that.
So I assume you guys are going to
Go
provide
procure
those.
some paperwork and hand it to the front desk guy.
And they hand you over the satchel.
I open the satchel. What's
What?
in it?
They're supposed to be sent home to her house.
And how are they going to get to her? Are they going to magically float there? They have to hand them to someone, and there's the guy.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that they're sent home. I open the bag. Is it the books?
It's whatever she had.
The books, the clubs, the magical stick things?
Yeah, but just the one stick.
No, yeah, just one.
Okay.
He had the ones he put touched.
There was a shimmering cloak.
Mask.
Yeah, it's a mask.
Right.
That's
Yeah, I don't touch the mask.
Copper bowl.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one of those.
All right, then. Thank you, Doctor. If you would like to see these items out, and we are going to get away far enough from the desk, and then I'm going to use one of the house phones to call Professor Wentworth.
Okay.
Would you meet us in the lobby, sir?
What? Why?
To save me the trouble of breaking into your room in the middle of the night.
Oh, God, again.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to spare you.
All right. I will get dressed again. Come down to meet you.
And I hand you the bag.
It's not bleeding. I'll open it and I discover the books, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
There you are.
Thank you.
Have a nice night. Thank you, Doctor, for your assistance.
You're very welcome.
And I turn.
Okay, so in the morning, you're going to the mosque. Now I can explain what the mosque looks
Sorry.
like. Good lord.
Looks mosky and old, right? No? Okay.
Mosques are designed to imitate the courtyard at Muhammad's Medina house. So there's a large courtyard, and in the walled court, which is open to the sky, there's shade along several of the sides. You find an attendant to request speaking to one of the ulama, and I could be mispronouncing that, but that's okay. He's one of the learned scholars of Islam. That's one of their priests, essentially. Who would like to do the speaking?
Give him a greeting in Arabic.
And he returns it and bows.
Well, I was going to ask, what are your languages? All right, yeah. Same.
So,
I tell everyone to take off their shoes before we go in.
so who's talking?
We're both equally proficient.
Yeah, but I'm a Muslim and you're not.
Nice.
Oh, I don't know you're Muslim.
So are you speaking?
I assume you're Taoist or whatever the hell.
Yeah, most people make that assumption. As did Weld. What? So I'll turn to the professor actually. What would you like to see here?
I will turn to Mr. Cooper.
Just a general tour would be best. We are looking for
Did you have a description of this item?
No.
Awesome.
objects of interest. Probably something that is the other guy around at all, or is it just us?
What other? Yeah, he's standing there.
It's just generalized tour. This is. I've never been to a mosque before.
Are you an American?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so I'll just explain. These are four Americans, one British, and they would like to come and see some things of historical interest.
Oh, absolutely. I can show you around. Your accent is strange, brother. China?
Yes. I've learned Arabic as all good Muslims must in
Absolutely.
order to read the Quran. I do not often have a chance to speak it.
It's nice to hear it spoken. And so he kind of takes you on a tour. It's what you expect in a mosque, which I've honestly never been to, so I can't really describe that. But it's
very pretty.
Yeah, and it's very old, but very well taken care of. They respect cleanliness and that kind of thing. So it's well handled. The gentleman treats you all with respect.
Is she even supposed to be Indian?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
The covering of the face is more of a modern,
Yeah, it's a
traditional
fundamentalist.
fundamentalist,
Yeah.
and Egypt is not like that this time.
You might be respectful maybe to wear a head covering for everybody,
Yeah,
like some sort of hat or shawl scarf, I think.
Okay.
and there are certain places I'm sure you can't
Yeah,
go,
there are areas where it's.
but there's also areas that just plain non-Muslims can't go. So
And, maybe do a ritual ablution before you go and take off shoes and
Right.
be respectful.
yeah,
Right.
and it's assumed that you follow whatever directions.
Right.
They're calm about it. They don't push and get terribly crappy about anything.
You'll notice probably at certain points also Ma will be performing prayers at certain moments, clearly doing things like that.
Obviously, practicing your faith.
Are you a devout follower?
Ish.
So during the proper times, you stop to do your prayers and you carry your
Flexible on that as a matter of survival.
practicality. Okay.
But he eats halal, doesn't drink or smoke, and I looked up Ramadan, because that's going to be coming up in April, so let me know about that.
Okay.
Because that's going to be an issue.
And you carry your prayer rug with you?
No, not visibly. He has a little, like, kind of folded up thing that he keeps with him. He does it in private. He doesn't do it publicly.
Okay. So you guys take the tour. He describes lots of things. His English is a little broken, but that's what you would expect. But he seems to know quite a bit. He talks about the history and, all the things in the temple. Nothing really sticks out. You don't see anything artifacty.
Occult rolls as we go around?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me, go ahead and just give me one, General.
Massive badass.
What about Cthulhu?
No.
You never know.
The place might have some power with its age. Beyond that,
It's a holy site.
yeah. Beyond that, like the altar would probably have some have extra power to it. The priest vestments, if you could find them, maybe old enough that they would have something like that. But this is also a mosque, so there's probably lower levels that they don't let you into, much like any other Catholic church in Europe or anywhere else.
Spot hidden for anything that would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, is there a reliquary?
And actually, I'm letting just George do that. He knows what to expect as a character. The rest of you wouldn't know what to spot.
I pass.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary. There's plenty of halls and doors that he's not taking you in, but that's probably because, even if this were your home mosque, there are doors that you wouldn't normally go through.
Yes.
So, anything else?
Does that mean the tour wrapping up?
Yeah, he takes you through the entirety of it.
Anything else of interest, brother?
There are many things of interest, but not everything we could show. And he responds in Arabic. Many things of interest, but not everything we could show outsiders.
These people are trying to fight the shaitan. We've heard that there may be something here that the followers of the unholy may be searching for.
Perhaps it's best for you to speak with the Nazir, who you know is the chief administrator for civil affairs. He's not a priest by any means; he's more of like an office manager, but more important than just like that.
Right.
So perhaps you should speak with him. He may be able to answer more questions. So I'll take you to his office and see if he has time.
If you would, brother.
So he heads that way, and you follow him, and you're put in a waiting room, but it's an outside waiting room. It's still very hot, even in March. There's nothing cold here. The nights are a little cool, but it's still pretty freaking hot. You wait for probably an hour, and a thick bearded man with a head covering comes out. He says, "I am Ahmed Zahavi. How may I help you?"
I bow. Is he speaking to us in
He's
English?
speaking to you in Arabic. It's clear, not that he has completely ignored them in some rude way, but he is speaking to you as a brother Muslim.
Do you want to be the appropriate form of address for this guy? Like, would brother be? Okay?
You would use the appropriate. I don't know what it would be.
I'm going to use brother in place of that.
That's fine.
Brother, we've been made aware that in this land there are certain evils that are troubling it. I do believe the intentions of my 5 allies are true. You may be under threat of something from the, and I turn to Cooper. Brotherhood of what?
The Brotherhood of the Dark Pharaoh.
Brotherhood of the Dark Pharaoh? I kind of stumble over the last word.
So, tell me more what you know of this brotherhood. He speaks that last bit in English. So tell me more about what you know about this brotherhood.
I very pointedly look at the rest
And
of
then he quickly takes the rest of you in as though he's including you in the conversation.
Have I made the connection between the Dark Pharaoh and the tree tentacle.
Yeah, it's because it was the Dark Pharaoh and it turned into the tree tentacle.
I mean, I'll give him like the full rundown.
They're here. They're
The cult, the sacrifices, the monthly meetings, the tie-in to the guy from the expedition.
Carlisle.
Or Gavigan.
Gavigan.
Since he seems to be so forward, I'll also fill in about
Yeah, like I'm
the events that.
being very forthright.
Yeah.
Well, in psychology, how when they start going into this, how is he looking?
Okay.
Pass.
He's taking it in as though parts of it he's. It's like he's listening to a story that he's heard hints of before.
Yeah, but he's not going to like, whoa, these are some crazy people who walked in here.
He's very calm.
Okay.
The whole time he's being talked to.
But are there any eyes of, how did you know?
Yeah, a couple of times, like, his eyebrow raises slightly, like, oh, really? But he's not animated. He just seems to just accept what you're saying as fact, or fact enough. So, you believe this brotherhood has something of interest?
The cultists believe you do. We're here back-checking that. If you have any items that you think might be something along those lines, I'm happy to look at them for you.
You roll me a persuasion.
Pass.
Okay. I can assure you that the item that the Brotherhood is looking for, not only do we know that they're looking for it, it is well guarded. We've already thwarted one attack. I have no fear that we will continue to.
Are you prepared for transubstantiated nightmare horrors?
I will explain the Sphinx.
I assumed you did that the first time.
Yeah, I've already.
You stand upon ground that is holy. It may not be holy to some of your particular faiths, but there is a power here that is unique in its protection. One moment, if you will. And he kind of like raps on his desk, and like a page or runner comes in, and he speaks quickly in Arabic. Just go get one of them. And the page leaves, and he kind of just sits back and relaxes and waits. And about 10 minutes later, an old man comes in carrying. He's kind of bundled up in what you would expect a warrior to be dressed in, and he looks probably 95. A little bit of a crick in his back. He's shuffling more than he's walking, but he's not just shuffling. But on his side is this large falchion, and sheathed properly. And he comes in and stands next to Zahavi. And Zahavi says, "This is Brother Nessim FD. He is one of the 6 Ulami guard the girdle.
The girl?
Girdle.
Oh, what's it? Wait, it's a person?
And this is the sword of Akmala that he carries.
I will give it a once over and see if anything stands out.
Give me an occult.
Pass.
Looking at it, there are some marks on it that hint at a power within it. Probably some sort of. Anybody else can give me an occult too. I assume you guys are keeping an eye out. There's some markings that kind of stand out to show you that there's power within the sword, or potentially at least if it was properly finished and all that. But clearly, it's ready to do whatever it needs.
Okay, and just for our own edification, can you tell us what the purpose of this artifact is? Why do they want it? What's their game plan?
It is the girdle of Nidocris. Now, for those of us listening at home that have lost this information, Nidocris is the kind of the queen of the Dark Pharaoh, believed to be out there somewhere, potentially being dug up right now, either by the Clive expedition or was dug up by the Carlisle expedition.
Okay. And she's some kind of
Powerful being.
horrific nightmare thing.
Is there any other kind of thing?
And why would they want it? Like, does it imbue Victoria with some kind of power or do something?
This is the girdle that who knows what they believe.
Makes you look smoking hot.
Yeah.
Makes the dead flesh come right back to life. Alright. The attack that happened, when was that?
That's a good question. That is a very, very good question. A month ago?
So right now, we showed up a certain
Yes. The evil ones shall not have it.
Right. What day of the month was it specifically? Say.
No.
This might be a strange question, but was it just people that attacked?
Yes. The last attempt was made by mere cultists. George, the way he keeps talking, it's clear that he thinks that the cultists and anything dealing with the mythos as a whole, are clearly the demons mentioned in the Quran.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he believes this is both religious and dutiful, that the things that he's dealing with here.
This is probably also it.
Yeah.
At this point.
Fair enough. Kind of probably even reaffirms that for you.
Yeah, actually. Explanation. Be better about doing my prayers.
Is there anything else?
I have a OC question. This guy is crotchety and 95 years old. You guys aren't going to question that?
Are you questioning it?
I was going to say, go ahead there, young lady.
Go for it.
I can't.
Well, I'm
You can
assuming.
speak up. Yeah, you can absolutely speak up.
No, I'm assuming the
wanna
sword
offend
does
him.
something for him that counterbalances.
When he started speaking in English, he took in all six of you. Not
So,
So
and
it's
the
clear
guy
that
with the sword who's guarding the temple, or guarding the
he's
girdle,
one of them. One of the
Right.
six. Yeah.
is 95. Is like, does he look decrepit? Like, is he having to cane his way in here?
What's the old actor? George Burns.
Right.
If George Burns were Egyptian, like right towards the end, this might as well be George Burns.
So,
I mean, he's got some light in his eyes, like he's full of intelligence, but like,
I address the tour guide individual and I say, I mean no offense, and please understand that given my background, that I don't wish to offend when I ask the next question. I am a captain in the Royal Service, as is the corporal here. This gentleman does not look as spry as perhaps those in the military.
actually the Nazir, the civil leader, not the guy that was showing you around, speaks up. So I could understand your concern. Our guards are not as spry looking as they are, but there are certain aspects of the sword that negate the need.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point specific runes, be like, those are runes of power. It's fine.
If it would make you feel better, and the Nasir reaches over and picks up a fig and tosses it, and the guard pulls his sword, cuts it in half, and resheaths it all in one quick, very quick, smooth motion. Like you saw Botticello swing a stick. It's just much smoother than that, and he was pretty good with that stick. Like just.
she is
So-
walking around this guy looking at him. And now she's like, totally.
So if I'd have just gone up and grabbed his wrist and tried to just lock him to the floor,
That could have gone
might have
badly.
been bad. Okay.
Remember that hospital you were just in?
Nice. Okay, fair enough.
Oh my.
I thank you.
I understand. It seems that your concerns are not disrespectful. They are well thought.
Do you have any more of these gentlemen?
There are 5 others with him, but this is the only sword of Akala. Amkala? Name of the sword's kind of important. Yeah.
It would be nice to have them with us on our list.
They stand guard here. Akmala, that's what it is.
I have some research I'm going to send you later this evening.
Okay.
May we view the girl?
We
Perhaps
do, maybe.
touch it to receive its blessing, or however that works. I'm not sure.
This is not a power of holy might. This is a power of. This is a connecting power. How you say. He's clearly searching for a word, and finally he looks at George's at Ma and says, "It's a string." And that's what gives it's the age and the string is what gives its power connected to Nucris. Ma, you may view this, but understand that only you may view this. The rest of your companions are not properly suited. Just what you realize is his nice way of saying, "Ain't no Muslim."
Ain't no Muslim up in the hill.
I imagine it's understood.
So I have a
So
question.
do you forward that information to us?
I assume you would understand what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Well, but he said it in Arabic.
Yeah, he
to
said
Ma.
that in
Like,
Arabic.
I'm looking to you for a translation.
Our credentials are not
But,
acceptable
Appropriate.
here.
I don't understand. I can speak up there.
So,
Your fate is not the correct fate.
is there any way
I'd be
for
willing
us
to convert.
I
Oh, guys.
think I am too. I've
Hold on,
seen-
guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because it was kind of a side.
Oh,
Proceed. Is there any way for us to perhaps have our weapons blessed, such as the
that was
sword?
done years ago, hundreds of years ago.
No one's here of the expertise to do so.
That particular gift is not something easily found anymore. You may find it in perhaps Mecca or Medina, but not here.
While other belief systems require faith, I have seen yours in action. How does one go about converting?
Well, according to Islam, you're already a member of your stuff.
Mom, if you would walk him through the beginnings of such a thing. It requires a great deal of dedication. That would require at least learning a new language.
What would that be?
Arabic. Quite literally, you cannot read the Quran in any language.
I
They
will
don't
say
allow
something
it.
in basic Arabic.
Oh.
I got 25 in Arabic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then you would fall in a lot of this conversation and just faking it along.
Yep.
Well, then there is still some devotion that Ma will walk you through, I'm sure.
It is not something you may do in a day.
No, and it is not something. It's not something you do in a week nor a month. It is a lifelong pursuit.
8 months, 3 weeks, 4 days.
Better hurry.
Yeah.
You'll get right, man. You'll get right.
You must get right with Jesus.
I believe the 8 months, 4 weeks, 3 days is.
8 weeks, 3, right? I was saying that's how much time we had.
Yeah, how long we have.
The end of the world comes about. I'm like, can I get there in 8
I'm
months,
sorry.
3 weeks, 4 days? Can I
Yeah,
have-
Jason, we forgot to tell you they have an exact date of when the world is now.
Oh, really? That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, we put that shit on the calendar.
Thanks for sharing, guys. I appreciate it.
It's January.
Give it to Frank.
January 16th,
I knew I forgot something.
1925.
Yeah, I knew I forgot something.
1926.
1926. Yeah,
26.
call 26. Sorry, Ma, would you like to proceed?
I'll ask a humble favor, brother. If the professor, he is not of the faith, but he is a learned man and a scholar, he may... Are you looking at me in character,
Yes.
Shirley?
Yes,
Um,
because I'm just as learned.
Professor,
Yeah, he knows about this stuff, though.
Oh, okay.
Professor, tell me about your scholarly pursuits.
Before or after Will came back into my life?
Prior.
I'm an archaeologist, anthropologist, historian. Yeah, you want to make a credit check?
Yes.
Professor.
I mean, it's no Oxford, but it'll do.
Yeah.
Well, I passed by 41. So.
Well, it's, he seems not nearly as impressed as you would like because, you're not in America.
Well, no, and then I'm
yeah.
gonna, the part after that is going to be, and since Weld has originally contracted me on this mission, I've become the resident occult specialist, I guess the term would be.
Not sure who this gentleman is, but
Weld would be Mr. Ma's original employee.
sorry he couldn't make it.
He went crazy.
So are we.
He saw an elder being face to face.
Oh, we weren't telling our life story. we already told him this stuff.
Nice. These people are holding on to an artifact power.
Do you hold faith, Professor?
No, I guess my response is very
white in the great tree tentacle.
Do you hold faith? Do you have a faith you espouse?
I don't know, the term would be wasp where I'm from, but yes.
Perhaps we could allow this one exception. But please, Professor, remember this is a very sacred place.
Oh, I understand completely.
So the gentleman leads the two of you kind of towards the back door in his office. The rest of you four are just kind of left to hang out in the office, or
You're an old dude.
the door is. Oh no, I'm sorry. He goes.
Oh, see, I was going to take another swig and be like, toss it up in the air. Does he do it again?
It's the wrong guy, so it's just like.
Oh, and the pig hits the floor. Oh, sorry. And put it back. Wipe off the bits or whatever. Put it back on his desk.
The four of you are kind of left in the room with your tour guide, who kind of gravitates towards the courtyard because it's shaded and there's a little bit of a breeze, probably a little cooler than in here. You two are taken down some stairs to another set of stairs through a hallway. It gets a little twisty and turvy. You could probably find your way back without too much trouble, but it's clearly you're deep both in the mosque and in the ground.
It's meant to confuse.
It's partially meant to confuse. It's also probably just old building. So you finally find yourself in a small room. Give me just a second. You find yourself standing in front of a very heavy door. Go ahead.
No.
There's Zahavi takes a key and unlocks the door. Inside, you find 5 men standing, and behind them is another very heavy door. They all are of varying ages of old, not as old as the gentleman who came up, but old enough.
I'm gonna do a quick scan of the room to see if there's any
You're getting
magical defenses.
There is something seriously different about this room. It happened as soon as you came through the doorway.
My antenna goes up.
Yeah, the next door is unlocked and it's open into a small 3x3 room, not very big, and then it sits on a slightly raised dais. This girdle.
I'm gonna give it an examination. Pretty descriptions.
It is old. You can tell that very easily. You'd have to guess, and we won't make you roll. This doesn't really matter. You have to guess just prior or just at the beginning of the Fourth Dynasty. So it's the right time frame. And it's right. It's meaning the things that I think it should be. The markings on it don't have anything specifically occult, but it's meant for a queen.
Now the question is it made out of normal fabric or demon skin?
I believe
skin?
it's a combination of gold and some sort of wool. Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to be respectful of that. But I am gonna peer around it and try to look inside of it.
It just looks like a normal girdle. You'd have to guess that if it was dealt with by a caster or a ritualist, that there's probably some
item of power.
Yeah, it's an item of power. It probably holds a part of that essence as well.
Can I, for lack of a better term, meditate at it and try to get the sense of what sort of power?
You'd have to be doing a lot more than just looking at it. You have to touch it and really get in contact with it.
Okay, I will ask for permission.
That would be unwise. Perhaps just looking. So.
Is sheepskin, you said?
Probably some sort of wool-ish, whatever they used in that time, that probably would have survived enough to hold it together.
Well, here's also, from an archaeological perspective, real talk, the 4th dynasty was something like 2,000 years BC or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, in the desert, preservation is very good, but any kind of textiles and fabrics and organic stuff still, for anything to be surviving, anything remotely, like, and what does this look like? Pretty well preserved?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that would be, the professor would know that this is probably magic and insane that this looks the way it does and has been kept here.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be creepy in itself.
Is it on its own pedestal, or is it under a glass box?
It's on, not a pedestal, it's maybe, I don't know, 6 inches of a dais off the floor. So it's stone on the floor, and then there's a circular dais that raises it up.
But he could reach out and touch it if he wanted to.
He could. He could also pull back. He could also pull back a nub.
Yeah.
Right. Just bloody stump.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that they're proactive on the defensive nature.
I'll ask, when was this found, and how did it come to be?
This has been in possession of the mosque since Saladin was here.
Quite good. And before that, do they know anything of its history or what?
Unfortunately, that information, we're not even sure how it came to be in our possession. That information has been lost.
But now you know just the forces of evil.
We could tell that it was an item of some power from the preservation, and then it was brought here for protection and placed here in these rooms, and has been protected since.
Do you have any? The term is it wizards?
Scholars might work.
Vizier.
Oh yeah, Vizier. Vizier's probably a good term.
Again, not within this area. Mecca or Medina would be.
Okay. I'm going to send you some things later today about how to inscribe items to hurt and affect insubstantial beings and prevent areas of awareness from entering evil entities' awareness.
Okay.
Like the shillelagh spell and all that.
Okay.
Instructions on how to do it, so they can arm the other people to better effect.
And that will do us tonight for Next Main Presents Mask of Nearla Thotep. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. You can find us on our website, and we will talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.